Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is The Sound and I'm going to be your host this evening as we take a look at week 4 of the Nexus Gaming series here in the Nexus Division. We're going to be checking out BoomerGaming going up against Crit Kickers in a best-of-3 series. A little bit of background on these two teams. BoomerGaming thus far completely undefeated in the season. They've played 2 series thus far. And Crit Kickers are fresh off a promotion from Division A last season. We can take a look at the current division standings. And up in the top 3, we've got BoomerGaming with 12 points. And Crit Kickers still looking for their first series win. And they could clinch it here this evening. If they have any say. I assume that's what they would like. Welcome in to all those tuning in. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for sticking around as we dealt with some amount of scheduling trouble. But we're here now, and we should be off to a start very, very soon. A little bit more about these teams. This is the second season for both of our teams. Crit Kickers starting off in Division A last season. As mentioned, they are fresh off a promotion, and this is the second season for BoomerGaming here in the Nexus Division. Taking a look at our battlegrounds. Game 1, we are headed to Battlefield of Eternity as selected by Crit Kickers. BoomerGaming won the coin toss and opted for first pick. And we also saw bans go out onto Sky Temple and Brax's Holdout for BoomerGaming, with Crit Kickers banning Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass. So, interesting to see the Cursed and Alterac bans out of Crit Kickers. That paired with the selection of Battlefield of Eternity tells me that they are interested in team fighting. Which, I mean, there's still plenty of macro play on every battleground. Battlefield of Eternity is no exception, of course. There's also a lot of really good vision play that folks get into, with the main objective area all shrouded in fog and bushes. We can see some less common tank picks on this battleground, so I'll be interested to see what the draft brings us here. And it looks like we are just about there for Game 1. Of note, BoomerGaming have played a fair bit of Medivh Diablo thus far this season, which Battlefield of Eternity, certainly a map that would suit that style of composition. Being able to portal over the aforementioned terrain can be really punishing for your opponents, and especially when that gets paired with the wall bang engage from Diablo. So we'll see if Crit Kickers have done their scouting homework, and we'll see either the Diablo or the Medivh ban. Looks like we've got a Zul'jin ban first from BoomerGaming. a bit of a special for crit kickers. They've picked it a handful of times thus far this season. And Johanna the response. Johanna, an all-around solid tank. Though her wave clear isn't necessarily as important on a battleground like Battlefield Eternity, she can hold bushes well, she can check bushes well. You can see a heavy focus on cutting down on the number of immortal burn heroes that crit kickers have to choose from here. We'll see if we get either the Diablo or Medivh ban here, or if crit kickers feel that there is something a little scarier that BoomerGaming have in their arsenal. It's going to be the Anubarak ban. Alright, so a tank choke. But the Lord of Terror still available. We've also got Muradin, which is a solid choice for the battleground. His ability to cross terrain and even supplement the DPS on the Immortal if things get hairy, depending on your level 4 of choice. First choice for BoomerGaming, it's going to be Hanzo first pick. Hanzo, an excellent hero for controlling vision and racing the Immortal. More of a poke hero than a full-on Immortal burning hero, but that poke is very potent, especially when things get into more of a stalemate during those intense vision play moments. It can be good to have the Sonic Arrow and the poke from Scattershot. Brightwing and Li Ming, the response. So, crit kickers picking up some poke of their own, and the Fairy Dragon. The Global not terribly relevant on this battleground, but her ability to polymorph heroes is still really powerful as a base kit tool. And there's that Diablo pick that we were mentioning. So in this second ban, I would love to see crit kickers ban the Medivh. I think J-Shifts has played it a number of different times thus far, opting for the Anduin ban instead. So all of the frontline for crit kickers still yet to be picked. I'd expect to see another tank ban here for BoomerGaming, just narrowing that field a little bit more. And it is going to be a Garrosh ban. Garrosh, a solid choice on the battleground. His ability to displace heroes into the Immortal's stun circles can be very punishing. So with the first two tank bans from crit kickers and picking up a tank of their own, not surprised that BoomerGaming went with that tank choke a little bit further. Next two picks here from crit kickers, it's going to be Sonya for the off lane, most likely. And ETC. Ooh. Not a tank that you see every day. We'll have to keep an eye out to see how Godfred pilots the cow and if he can stand up to the pressure of Diablo. Last two picks here for Bagatron and J-Shifts. It could still be a Medivh game. I keep harping on it, but I mean, when you've only played 4 games and 3 of them have been on Medivh, there it is. It's not too surprising. Last pick here, one more damage, most likely in this flex spot for IE. Something with a little more consistent HP burn for the Immortal might be good. Sylvanas going to be the pickup there. Alrighty. So let's take a look at these 2 drafts as we get into the battleground. Oh, thank you for the follow, Non-Champion and Thundercats. Appreciate it. So Hanzo, Medivh, Uther. Blaze Diablo. So BoomerGaming does not have the most straight up HP burn if it were a straight race, but their poke is rock solid, and they have a very scary engage through the portal with an Uther stun, a Diablo stun, a Blaze stun. We'll see if J-Shifts can supplement the damage, or if it's going to be all on Dope Monster on the Hanzo to take care of business. But I expect Sylvanas and Li Ming will have a tough time. Of course, they've got more raw DPS on the side of Crit Kickers, so that might be the difference maker. We'll have to see how it goes as we get into game one here and introduce our teams. Here on the left in blue, we've got BoomerGaming, iFeed on Blaze, eBagatron on Uther, Dope Monster on Hanzo, Bellers playing Diablo, and J-Shifts playing Medivh. To the right in red, we've got Crit Kickers. Godfred on ETC, IE on Sylvanas, Icon playing Brightwing, Infinity Meme on Li Ming, and Magic Turtle playing Sonya. So let's check out our level 1 talents as we get into the first wave of the game. No surprise on the level 1 for Hanzo. It is simple geometry, trying to get additional stacks, or trying to get 20, I believe, stacks? Yeah, 20 stacks on the W quest, which will give another 2, I believe, shots to the W. There's the flip then stun. A great polymorph from Icon will get IE out of trouble. And it looks like that... Oh yeah, ETC goes down. First blood going over to BoomerGaming. And that is going to be the difficulty that Crit Kickers will have in this game, I think. Keeping the ETC alive is going to be a tough one. And there's the stun into stun. The phase shift comes in. Icon saving IE once again. We've also got Uther looking to stack up Silver Touch. And of course, Spell Shield for Diablo, which is called Soul Shield. That's his flavored. Checking in on top lane here, Magic Turtle starts up this camp. I don't know if iFeed has sniffed them out or not. Blaze not known for his 1v1 prowess here in the early game. A great stun through Bellers. They will get the portal out to safety. With a huge chunk taken out of Diablo, I don't think eBagatron is going to be able to sustain them up, especially not with how little mana they've got. On the top side, Magic Turtle getting pushed in by iFeed a little bit there. And we see a full set of hearths coming out of BoomerGaming. Alright, 2 minutes. So objective spawning here in the next minute or so. As such, we've got Crit Kickers already onto their back Shaman camp. But with all 4 of their heroes committed here, it's going to give BoomerGaming a free pickup on the bot side. As we take a look at our level 4 talents. Nothing too surprising here. It's serrated arrows for Hanzo, the all-important objective burn talent. And it looks like both teams are going to get a double camp for top and bottom lane respectively. Bellers trying to slow the rotation here, but now they're body blocked. Infinity Meme getting a fair bit of damage in, but J-Shifts is in range to protect Bellers. Crit Kickers will get the first opportunity to put a little pressure onto the blue team Immortal. Checking in on J-Shifts, already up to 21 stacks on the Master's Touch. Out of the 40 required. So a very rapid halftime pickup for Crit Kickers. BoomerGaming are going to look for these stuns. Once again, pressuring Godfred. The stun from iFeed a little bit short. Jet Propulsion is a long ability, but unfortunately not long enough. And a constant CC chain on Godfred. They will get the slide out. Magic Turtle rotates in here. They're looking for these kills. All the while, we've had Hanzo racing on the other side. Dope Monster doing as much as they can, but they're running low on mana, and so Crit Kickers will take the first objective here. And with Sylvanas on their team, they will have a potential big push here. A decent minion wave has built up, and with possession at level 4, Sylvanas is definitely able to supplement it even more so. There's flip, but not over the wall, unfortunately. Beller's just a little too far outside of the range to get Godfred under the fort. And there's Black Arrows committed by IE, level 7s online for Crit Kickers here. And they are probably going to get this fort off of the first objective. A great protected for Bellers, and there's their spell shield. With the heals from Uther, it's not going to be enough. IE continues to chase, but Infinity Meme is unable to connect with those resets. So a great first objective phase for Crit Kickers, picking up the first Immortal and the first fort of the game. I'm sure J-Shifts is happy to have completed Master's Touch there, definitely ramping up the damage that Medivh can put out. I called them out a little bit earlier, but I didn't look at them specifically. Level 7 talents, Echo Petal, Lost Soul, cool, nothing out of the ordinary there. Never outmatched, yep. Hand of Protection, of course, for Uther. Cleanse, always important. Arcane Explosion, excellent. And Icon, conscious of how much CC exists on the side of BoomerGaming, has opted for Magic Spit at level 4 and, not Critical Mist at 7. A little bit surprising. Experience just about even here. We can see Hero XP slightly favoring Crit Kickers as well as Minion XP. So they're going to continue to get a lead here as long as the passive XP favors them. And there is the next spawn on the Immortal. Just around the corner from their heroics, Crit Kickers are probably going to try and play this one cautiously. Checking in on bot lane, Magic Turtle getting collapsed on by 4. Here's the phase shift in from Icon. They do get the shift in time. Godfred might get this heal. And a huge cleanse. Magic Turtle able to make it. J-Shifts over the wall. Amazing save. Magic Turtle makes it out alive after a huge collapse from the 4 heroes of BoomerGaming. Definitely a pick they would have loved to pick up, closing that gap towards the heroic talent tier. Dope Monster getting a little bit of poke where they can. But with heroics online, I think BoomerGaming are probably going to play it a little more cautiously. We've got Mosh Pit, Wailing Arrow, Blink Heal, Wave of Force. Oh my god, Uther eating all the CC they can. J-Shifts gets the protected, but the portal is unable to save Uther. Wave of Force Leap. Oh my gosh, huge stun into stun. Leyline, a bit of anti-synergy there. IE still in a really rough spot. A great mosh lands onto 2. J-Shifts trying to chase him down. More of a peeling mosh pit than anything else. And so after heroics fly on both sides, not too much poke on either side of the Immortal. Uther is back up, and we can take a look at the other side heroics as well. It's Bunker Drop, Divine Shield, Dragon's Arrow, Lightning Breath, and Leyline Seal. This is where the poke from Li Ming and Hanzo can be very helpful. Magic Turtle stunned, and again, they're body blocked, but they're able to get out. What a great flip. There's the Lightning Breath onto 3. iFeed on the other side gets a stun onto 3. There's the leap in, but IE is low, as is Godfred. Sylvanas will fall to the right, and Magic Turtle not long for this world either. So 2 kills going in favor of BoomerGaming there. that is likely to secure them the halftime show here on second Immortal phase. A great cleanse from eBagatron there. And that is the threat that BoomerGaming brings with the Medivh. Being able to portal a blaze deep into your backline is quite an advantage in a team fight. We saw that massive 3-hero stun from iFeed, and that is just the power of Medivh, completely changing the pace and scaling of the game. Just a cheeky ley line to stall any rotations in, and it's over 50% shield HP for this Immortal. BoomerGaming have a large wave to clean up here in bot lane, and not a lot of wave clear to speak of on their team. J-Shifts taking advantage of their explosive barrier to clear up minions as much as they can, but in the end, the minion wave is still left behind, so a relatively easy clear for Crit Kickers. We do have iFeed on the top here, looking for the stun in. They're going to draw Fort aggro. A huge Dragon's Arrow. It does not connect. iFeed has to drop the bunker to save themselves. This has left Sonya alone in top lane. Beller's now with the Fort aggro. A great boop in, and there's the phase shift. It looks like the fort will go down nonetheless. On the top side, Sonya has been able to get a fair bit of push. Magic Turtle, knowing that the rotation is coming in, leaps out to safety. Level 13's just around the corner here for both of our teams. Still neck and neck on experience. No major category going in anyone's favor. Crit Kicker's still a little bit ahead on the Mercenary XP as well as passive, but with that fort takedown, things will start to even up in that capacity. And that's level 13's. With this 4-hero commitment to the bottom fort, it's going to be tough for Crit Kickers to defend this push from BoomerGaming. I think this fort goes down. Yeah, a bit of an overcommitment on the bot side for that siege camp. And it left BoomerGaming unattended in top lane. Any 13s out of the ordinary. Mounted archery for Hanzo. I don't know. Medivh talents. Okay. Cooldown reduction on the Protect. And here's another Black Arrows push. So this push likely to even up the structural deficit. Backing out. So Crit Kicker's unable to secure the fort there, and it's going to give a pretty free clear on this Mercenary camp as well. So no side lane pressure for BoomerGaming to attend to. Crit Kickers have to attend to this bot lane camp as well. The Vision game is spooky for anyone going against Medivh team. And we can see Crit Kickers playing it very cautiously here on the bot side of the battleground, which gives BoomerGaming a lot of free real estate to get onto this Immortal burn. Getting probably a free halftime here, while Crit Kickers continues to work on this catapult and camp. And there you have it. Halftime show awarded to BoomerGaming there. It's a lot of ground to make up on the side of Crit Kickers. They do have a fair bit of objective burn, but I don't know if they win a straight-up race 100 to 50. There's the slide onto eBagatron. Bellers connects with IE on the top side with the Shadow Charge. And if you're BoomerGaming, I think you're happy to take it slow here. You've got the poke from Hanzo and the lane pressure in top, thanks to the periodic catapults. Crit Kickers are going to have to get aggressive if they want this fight. J-Shifts continuing to hover over Magic Turtle, making sure that Sonya can't get a cheeky leap. iFeed dropping the bunker relatively early. It's additional DPS for the Immortal. Godfred is going to have to start a fight here if they want to get a pre-16. Objective goes over, and there's the Mosh onto one, but what a great save from the Leyline Seal, Bagatron and Bellers will retreat. So a virtually full HP Immortal going over to BoomerGaming. They had to hightail it out of there, but I think it's going to be tough for Crit Kickers to defend their top keep here. We'll see if BoomerGaming has any more pressure on that wave. A great stun in onto Godfred, but the Dragon's Arrow follow-up does not connect. And almost all of the shield HP taken out before Ilarion got to this keep wall. Still full HP, and with a 16 talent tier advantage, I think BoomerGaming are going to get aggressive on this fort. iFeed drawing the keep aggro here. They don't have the best siege damage, so these Immortal pushes are important for them to maximize. And it looks like Crit Kickers will keep the keep alive. Equalizing the level 16 talent tier. We've got Bellers hunting on the side here, out of vision. J-Shifts revealing everyone on Crit Kickers. Checking in on our level 16 talents. Will of the Forsaken for IE, makes a lot of sense. Mirror Ball, Nerves of Steel, Critterize. No selection yet for the ETC. We've also got Juggernaut Plating, Benediction, Piercing Arrows, which I think for a Immortal burn perspective makes a lot of sense. There also aren't too many beefy HP pools, so Dragon Slayer not the highest priority pickup. Bellers has opted for a full Souls to the Flame build, going for Debilitating Flames at 16, additional CC in the form of slows, as well as damage reduction. Sometimes we'll see players flex into the Overpower resets. Domination, I believe, is the name of that 16. So iFeed feels very safe being stepped that far up when they've got a portal to back them up. And we do have Temporal Flux, so we could say J-Shifts get a lot more freewheeling with their Leyline Seals now that they get cooldown reduction every time they connect with their Q, which is definitely called something. So top fort will fall. Structures are technically even. And look at all that race coming out from Crit Kickers. There's the Leyline Seal, only connects onto the ETC. Ooh, Infinity Meme not making the blink over the wall, but Bellers a little too far out of range to connect. Very close on Immortal HP here. iFeed does not connect with the Jet Propulsion. Double stun on a Magic Turtle. Icon gets a great cleanse, but they get caught in stuns nonetheless. Brightwing will go down, and BoomerGaming continues to chase. Oh, that stun into stun will be all she wrote for Sonya. There's another Leyline Seal. IE running as far as they can. J-Shifts is on the chase, and they'll be able to get the kill with the portal over. Godfred escaping narrowly. And in the meantime, the objective secured by Dope Monster. So the keep going down in top lane and a full level lead towards their Storm talents. BoomerGaming definitely looking to end the game here. They've already got a lot of pressure on this bottom keep thanks to that mercenary camp. Godfred has been doing a great job denying Bellers engages with timely face melts, but in the end, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Still 10 seconds before we get IE back on the battleground. And so 5v4, and with a healthy Immortal, this is going to be a really tough defense for Crit Kickers to make. Here comes IE. Bellers getting the flip on the Infinity Meme. Core down below 90% now. There's the bunker for additional siege damage. Not enough damage going out onto this Immortal, still above 50% HP. Godfred falling low, draws the phase shift. down below 30%, and this is likely to be the game here. Immortal will fall, or I'm sorry, Core will fall, taken out by the Immortal, and that's game. GG, well played to BoomerGaming. A dominant showing here on the first Battleground. Game 1 definitely looking comfortably in BoomerGaming's favor. The Medivh Diablo, definitely a potent combination. Throw a Uther and Blaze on top of that, and it's not too surprising to see that they were able to clean up more of those takedowns. Speaking of, we can take a look at these stats, which should pop up here. There we go. So there it was, 6 takedowns to 2. Diablo ended up with top damage, hero damage for BoomerGaming, thanks to the spell power and lightning breath options. IE, respectable amount of damage there at almost 50k, thanks probably largely to overwhelming afflictions percent damage onto the beefy HP targets of Diablo and Blaze. So a tough game to be sure, but definitely one that I think crit kickers have a lot to learn from. J-shifts on the Medivh, definitely a player and hero combination to look out for as we move forward in the series. For anyone who tuned in midway through Game 1, welcome. Glad to have you. We are taking a look at the Nexus Division this evening, seeing BoomerGaming go up against crit kickers. And thus far, BoomerGaming continue their undefeated streak here in Season 18. That is the 5th game that they've played and the 4th game of Medivh. So, you know, correlation is not causation, but Medivh is a tricky hero to play around. For Game 1, BoomerGaming were the winners of the coin flip, and they opted for first pick, with crit kickers having the option of either first pick or map pick. I'll be interested to see if they continue to choose Battlegrounds, or if they feel that the first pick is of vital importance. It felt a little bit like the teams were banning past one another. Zul'jin and Vala, both strong heroes, and IE has shown some prowess on the Zul'jin in their NGS career, but I don't think that they have too many contested picks between the two of them. Reingard pointing out that 8 takedowns total shows how much each team respected each other. I have to agree entirely. They were playing very cautiously. I think it makes a lot of sense. And it shows the level of disengage that crit kickers were able to secure there. All right, it looks like we've got another battleground set up, and for Game 2, we are headed to Towers of Doom, as selected by crit kickers. So they don't feel that the first pick is important. Definitely wanting to control where the games are happening more than the order in which people are picking. I think that makes a lot of sense when banning past, you know, if you don't have a lot of contested picks with your opponent, I think that is a reasonable choice, 100%. If there is a battleground that your team feels very comfortable on, opting for that instead of getting the first shot makes a lot of sense to me. So I think crit kickers, definitely a heads-up choice to opt for battleground selection once again. Other highlight plays from BoomerGaming in Game 1, the synergy between iFeed and J-shifts with the Medivh portals and Blaze stuns, of course E-Bagatron right there to follow up on the Uther. They've got a tight synergy between the three of them. a little bit of anti-synergistic moments between Beller's Dope Monster and J-Shifts with Dragon's Arrows and Overpowers and Ley Lines, but in a hectic team fight, overlapping heroics is no big surprise. Crit Kickers, I'll say Godfred did a great job being diligent with their mosh pits. They didn't rip it willy-nilly and die off the back of it. Of course, with how many interrupts BoomerGaming had available to them, we didn't end up seeing any 5-hero god-tier mosh pits, but I don't think we are likely to see that many of those here in the Nexus Division. It is the second highest division of play in NGS. All of these players have a decent amount of experience in an elevated level of play. So I don't think we're ever going to see quite that level of highlight play, but the diligence that Godfred showed in holding on to the mosh and trying to catch as many interrupts in the heroic as possible made a lot of sense. I thought that was really great. So what else did we see? Magic Turtle and the Sonya did not get many leap opportunities, but once again, that's due to J-Shift's Medivh play. I do think from a draft perspective, if I'm on the side of Crit Kickers, that is definitely a hero that I would pay attention to. If they have a Medivh player, picking it away could be cool. But Medivh is definitely a less common hero in folks' hero pool. So in all likelihood, it'll end up in the ban slot. Last game, they opted for Johanna and Anubarak in the first round of bans. I would expect to see one of those tanks get banned out again. It's really anyone's guess whether or not Anub or Joe feels more problematic, but I think I would rather have, I'd rather give up Joe than, or I'm sorry, rather give up Anubarak than Johanna. Anubarak a little bit easier to deal with from a squishing the bug standpoint. All right, let's get into the draft for Game 2 here. BoomerGaming first pick once again. So last game it was Zul'jin and Vala. This game opting for the Dahaka ban first. A great battleground for Dahaka. The global presence that he brings can definitely shift the course of how bottom lane plays out. Bottom lane definitely the higher priority between all three lanes, given its control of 2 out of the 4 objective spawns and 2 out of the 3 mercenary camps. Same ban as last time. Crit Kickers sticking to the Johanna. Next ban here from BoomerGaming. We'll see if they reprise any of their other bans, but I would be surprised. Their bans last game definitely were battleground focused. And there's the Falstad ban. Alright, so trying to shut down Crit Kickers' options for globals. Right now we've got Brightwing and ETC, if you're nasty. 4 globals still available. Crit Kickers, last time it was Johanna and Anubarak. I'd be surprised if we don't see a Medivh ban here, but maybe I'm giving too much emphasis there. It's going to be the Diablo instead. Alright, so one of the 2 problematic heroes for them last game. First pick here. Last time it was Hanzo, which once again, definitely very battleground specific. It's going to be Junkrat first here. Junkrat offering a lot of wave clear, a lot of vision control, and a lot of objective stall. So definitely a great pickup for Towers of Doom. We'll see how Crit Kickers responds here. Junkrat, a relatively safe first pick. We could see it potentially punished by a Genji, Leoric, and Anduin. Okay. That strikes me as a rather early Leoric pick. Perhaps trying to disincentivize iFeed from picking Blaze once again. So next two picks, it's going to be Muradin, Malfurion. All right. Some solid CC from BoomerGaming once again in these first three picks. We've got a root from Junkrat, a stun, and a root and stun, depending on which level 1 you go for Malfurion. I'd expect to see an offlane ban here from Crit Kickers. It's going to be the Hanzo instead. Okay. So, J-Shifts still has Medivh available. Medivh Junkrat might be a weird damage structure, but there's the Genji ban. Definitely wanting to protect their Malfurion and Junkrat a little bit. Next two picks here from Crit Kickers. A little bit more frontline and some damage would help round out their draft. I would love to see another Sylvanas, i.e. going for the Zul'jin this time. It was not available last game, so... And Mal'Ganis, okay. Definitely not a hero I'm accustomed to seeing here in the Nexus, much less in NGS. So perhaps Godfred knows something that we don't. The root from Malfurion, I think, is going to be pretty punishing for Mal'Ganis. Last two picks here for iFeed and J-Shifts. The Lost Vikings. Okay. Shucks. What a great TLV map. That is a real bummer if you're on the side of Crit Kickers. We'll see how they try and clean that up with Infinity Meme's choice. Zeratul, maybe? Zeratul could be cool if they play it. Adds a little bit of yank pressure to TLV and backline pressure. It's going to be Maiev instead. Okay. So let's talk about these drafts here for Towers of Doom. I gotta say, if I'm on the side of Crit Kickers, that pickup on TLV is definitely a drop of rain on my sunshiny day in the Nexus. TLV, much the same as Medivh, completely warps the way that any game gets played. Certainly, Towers of Doom, a great battleground for Lost Vikings. They can stall objectives, they can soak. The Junkrat can stall objectives. So, Zul'jin and Maiev both scale well into the late game, but they might have trouble making headway against this composition that BoomerGaming has cooked up. We'll have to see if Crit Kickers can bring us to a game 3 here, and we can introduce our teams. Here on the left in blue, we've got BoomerGaming, iFeed on Sylvanas, eBagatron playing Malfurion, Dope Monster on Junkrat, Bellers playing Muradin, and J-Shifts on the Lost Vikings. To the right in red, Crit Kickers, trying to get us to a game 3, IE on Zul'jin, Godfred on Mal'Ganis, Icon playing Anduin, Magic Turtle on Leoric, and Infinity Meme playing Maiev. As we get into the first wave of the game, let's take a look at our level 1 talents. Olaf the Stout. Excellent. I believe that's standard. Infinity Meme looking for the pull. There's the root and sleep. Opting for Naisha's Memento at level 1. That'll definitely increase the pressure that they can put on those camps. And First Blood goes over to Crit Kickers. Malfurion a little out of line, i.e. getting some decent stacks here. They're going to get additional stacks below 50% HP thanks to their level 1 Recklessness. Checking in up here, J-Shift's continuing to pressure Magic Turtle. Bellers does not connect with the Stormbolt. There's the sleep onto Bellers, but immediately woken up. A great root into the Boop brings IE low, and that will do it. First kill for BoomerGaming. Malf roots definitely on point from E-Bagatron thus far. And the Boop from Dope Monster, perfect follow-up. Infinity Meme and Godfred getting a little bit of pressure from Bellers here. Checking in on mid. Magic Turtle will never get to mount up because Eric is swift and brave and annoying. Which is one of the many reasons why TLV are good on this battleground. Bellers saying hello to IE. A great link in from Infinity Meme, but now they're in a rough spot with that Boop from Dope Monster. It will draw the Leap of Faith from Icon. iFeed falling low here. Oh, so is Infinity Meme. A great sleep onto Godfred as each team unlocks their level 4 talents. We've got Amani Hyde rather than Voodoo Shuffle, which I think makes a lot of sense. Voodoo Shuffle would put you to sleep if you activated it in the Malfurion route, thanks to their level 1 Emerald Dream. Crit Kicker's doing a great job staying even on the XP. Have yet to fall behind on minions, which is no small feat given that they're playing against the TLV. There's the stun and Boop. Bellers caught in a rough spot, but it's E-Bagatron who's going to get a lot more pressure. A great root. Bellers is low. J-Shift's in onto IE here on the back line. Olaf likely to go down here. And top right we can see J-Shift's pressuring Magic Turtle. Unlikely to get a free channel there. Infinity Meme would love to get a decisive engagement. And there's the stun. IE takes out Bellers. So an important kill for Crit Kickers to pick up. Dope Monster does have the ability to stall really well here. Godfred doing a great job to wear those grenades, and IE chases Eric off here on the top side. So Crit Kickers able to pick up the first 2 objectives, bringing the core HP of BoomerGaming down to 32 here. Of course, they are starting to fall behind on experience a little bit. We can see that's thanks to the minion XP in favor of BoomerGaming. And looking at J-Shift's XP contribution as compared with Magic Turtle, you know, it's a TLV thing. What can we say? When you can be multiple places at once, you are likely to pick up more minions. Level 7s on both sides. It's Festering Wounds for Sylvanas, getting 3 stacks of the Banshee's Curse whenever a enemy is hit by her Haunting Wave. And Dope Monster continuing with their trap build, opting for Sticky Wicket after picking up Chattering Teeth. So traps now silencing. Bellers caught by Godfred here. There's the sleep, but E-Bagatron right on time for the save. Infinity Meme getting some great pressure there. We saw Icon use their level 7 Desperate Prayer just to offer a little bit more healing, and it's Mercenary Queen for iFeed here at level 4. These roots into Boops have been fantastic. E-Bagatron and Dope Monster really well in sync. Next objective spawning, it's 2 here in the bottom lane, and the experience has, once again, about evened up. Crit Kickers are doing a great job not letting TLV run away from them here on the experience front. E-Bagatron channeling here on the bot side with IE trying to get the channel on the top side. J-Shift does get the interrupt. Bellers now trying to do some additional pressure, and this stall is exactly how BoomerGaming wants to play this battleground. IE unlikely to get a channel with Eric dodging in and out on the top side. iFeed, though, will fall. Icon falling very low themselves. J-Shifts continues to push out the top lane with Baylog while Eric stalls these objectives. Beller's looking for another stun. They will get the jump out. Eric falls, and IE doing a great job to make sure that Infinity Meme can finish the channel. In the top side, a huge minion wave built up by J-Shifts and Baylog. So a little bit of pressure there, but both teams right on track for their heroics. Speaking of, we've got Tazdingo. That's not Dark Conversion, right? Yeah, Carrion Swarm. Here's the engagement. Light Bomb does not connect. Bellers has to jump out. Pulled back in by Infinity Meme. E-Bagatron gets the silence onto one. IE stunned. Godfred looking for the peel. In comes J-Shifts, and the Mind Control lands into a stun, and that's it for Mal'Ganis. So second takedown for BoomerGaming will allow for a free clear of this Sapper camp. A great Twilight Dream from E-Bagatron to ease the pressure that Infinity Meme was pushing. But in the end, the sleep route was what did them in. Unable to trigger Carrion Swarm. So we saw Carrion Swarm, Entomb, Containment Disc, yep. Mind Control, Twilight Dream, Riptire, Avatar, and Play Again. So nothing out of the ordinary here as far as heroics are concerned. And once again, Crit Kickers staying neck and neck on the experience. A little bit behind on minion XP, but ahead on hero takedowns. Speaking of hero takedowns, iFeed looks to be the target. Pulled back in, Infinity Meme falling low. IE still has Tazdingo available, and it looks like all of BoomerGaming will escape. They're going to have to give a little bit of support on the top side. IE falling low, a great pull from Anduin, but now it's too silenced. Godfred gets the sleep out. Infinity Meme looking for one more pull. Beller's able to get the hop out. There's the unkillable from IE, but they're low here. Bellers might get the kill. A great heal from Icon will get them out. E-Bagatron has fallen. Infinity Meme, do they have another tether? Unable to connect, but there's the stun from Godfred. Bellers has to pop the Avatar, and it looks like they will escape. So Crit Kickers doing a great job to keep themselves in this game. Down below a talent tier. Once again, this is due to the TLV effect. IE will get the channel. And with Crit Kickers drawing all 5 of their members up to the top and mid side of the battleground, BoomerGaming take advantage and steal away this Sapper camp on the right-hand side. So Crit Kickers doing a great job to keep the scaling from being too serious. Infinity Meme pulled out once again. There's the route onto Godfred, followed up by the Stormbolt from Bellers. Infinity Meme does not connect with the Containment Disc. Level 13 has unlocked Gotta Trap them all, so... Oh, Dope Monster is just playing the worst hero. I mean, he's one of the stronger heroes in the game, and this is why. The vision and area control offered by this double trap setup is really punishing. Checking in on top side, Magic Turtle contesting the 2 ranged Vikings, eating a lot of poke from those heroes. And there is another Sapper camp going over to BoomerGaming. Great Containment Disc onto Dope Monster. There's the pull in, but they're able to boop themselves out. Oh, huge silence onto the Anduin, and they will fall. Infinity Meme falling low, and there's the rotation in from J-Shifts. Godfred on the backside, able to escape. They're chasing down Infinity Meme with all 3 Vikings. They will get the kill with the spin. IE and Magic Turtle will clean them up, but with black arrows onto this fort, iFeed and friends are probably going to finish off this bottom side fort. There's the Entomb onto iFeed. IE getting a lot of damage done. They do still have Tostengo available. They have to use it as Bellers continues to pressure them. They're getting as many stacks as they can before they fall. Magic Turtle unable to save the rest of the team. Gives eBagatron the opportunity to channel here, and that's going to be 5 shots into the core of Crit Kickers. This, of course, is where it is very difficult to come back into a game that featured TLV. BoomerGaming can really camp out on this bottom fort and secure it. You can see Bellers keeping eyes on Crit Kickers. But it looks like iFeed has other plans heading up towards the top side of the battleground. We'll likely see a lot of pressure put on the Magic Turtle here. With Mercenary Queen, it's not too surprising to see them pressuring. Oh, this is going to be a problem for the Junkrat player. Silence and Dead. IE low, and they don't have their heroic any longer. Godfred will pick up the heroic. Magic Turtle has the Entomb. Beller's already getting their Dwarf Toss, and so eBagatron and Bellers fall. On the top side, iFeed picks up that camp. They've put a lot of pressure here on top side. I'm sure they'd love to get that tower taken out before the Sapper goes in. Unfortunately, they were unable to do so. So, bot fort converted for Crit Kickers. We are likely to see top fort go over to BoomerGaming, however, with iFeed and J-Shifts continuing to pressure here. These minions might just finish it off. Yep, last couple Archer shots will do it. And we've got the main 4 from Crit Kickers working on the other side of the bot lane. They're going to try and get this tower done. Of course, this leaves Magic Turtle a bit alone and on an island. We see that stun coming in from J-Shifts, large and in charge, a huge power spike for the Lost Vikings. Mind Control connects. Bellers over the wall with a huge dwarf launch. Oh my gosh, Magic Turtle will go down. So they get the bot side channel and the Sappers in bot lane, but Crit Kickers give up both top side objectives. Infinity Meme caught in the root here. They're silenced. And there's the stun from J-Shifts. They'll take out an Olaf, but that's not the kill they would have hoped for. Crit Kickers are ahead in experience, and these Sappers will go in. So they're starting to even up the core shots, 17 to 13 now. Still in favor of BoomerGaming, but with this boss capture, Crit Kickers will even things up. A tight contest on Towers of Doom, and a slight experience lead to Crit Kickers. This is going to help them all the more, as well as this keep takedown. This is the only battleground where forts still offer you chunk XP like they used to. And so that'll do it for the Storm Talent tier. Of course, BoomerGaming able to secure their Storm Talents as well. They're also able to push up here before Crit Kickers can rotate in. iFeed taking a lot of damage from the tower, though. Speaking of Storm Talents, it's Amani Resilience. Any serious flank, Magic Turtle scouted out by that trap. Infinity Meme eats the trap and the stun. What else do we have? Life Bloom, Dark Lady's Call, Cannonballs, Rewind, Fury of the Swarm. Nothing surprising there. Silence and Tomb, Shadow Strike. I don't know what that one does. Doesn't matter. Alone in the Dark. Okay, Alone in the Dark. I'm used to seeing Seeker Swarm, but okay, there's the Will of the Forsaken used. Bellers pops out. Unfortunately, the Light Bomb does not connect. J-Shifts on the backline with the Olaf stun could be a huge threat. There's the stun onto IE. Magic Turtle trying to channel on the bot side. It looks like there's the kill onto Olaf. Bellers falling low here. A Silence and Tomb onto eBagatron. Will Malf be able to escape? Oh no, IE gets the last auto attack, and there's the kill onto Bellers. Infinity Meme in a lot of trouble here. Icon is going to have trouble healing them up. But J-Shifts is likely to fall here. We lose one. Magic Turtle escapes from Dope Monster and iFeed. So it's going to be 4 more shots going over 4 crit kickers. The core of BoomerGaming down to 9. Not entirely sure how Evagatron got flanked like that, but a absolutely massive in-tomb from Magic Turtle to turn that fight in their favor. IE was right on time to connect those all-important auto attacks and secure the takedown. And so crit kickers are going to keep it going here in the bot lane. Still 10 seconds before Muradin spawns. And that pressure of the sappers will require some response. It buys crit kickers some room to potentially set up for a 6 cap working on this middle keep. Boss not up for another 2 minutes. With Sylvanas in range of the bottom keep, I don't think crit kickers are going to manage the 6 cap. We've also got TLV already set up to work on the mid keep here. Crit kickers demanding a response as they rotate definitely incentivize a good way to play against TLV. Magic Turtle looking for the Entomb here, perhaps. Ooh, not connecting with the containment disc. Top keep will go down. Mid keep still healthy. It's going to be a late rotation from crit kickers down to the objective. I don't think they'll be able to get to iFeed here on the bot side in time. But instead, it's going to be a fight here on the top side. Beller's already falling low. They have to pop the Avatar. And IE connecting those auto attacks. It's Eric to fall first. The fight is spread all over the place. Mind Control connects onto Godfred. The channel goes over to crit kickers. Only 3 core HP left. A silence onto Godfred will take down. Oh, there's the stun onto IE. They don't have time. Oh, they've already used the Amani Resilience. Icon falling low. There's the rewind popped by Bellers. Connects with the stun. 3 kills going over to crit kicker, or going over to BoomerGaming. Crit kickers unlikely to survive this. So they're gonna... Oh, they didn't interrupt the channel on time. So this is only going to be worth 2 core HP. 3 to 11 here. Beller's already getting to work on the sappers once again. So these 3 will bring the core HP down to 8. That laugh, that cackle that we all heard does signify that the boss is available for contest once again. So 3 sappers in bot, boss, plus a potential for a 6 cap. Still 20 seconds until Infinity Meme pops back up from the death timer. Crit kickers might have lost their last team fight, unfortunately. Alright, it looks like BoomerGaming does not feel as though they can manage the 6 cap. Painting all of the map blue, save the top keep. The boss is a must-play for BoomerGaming. I'm surprised that crit kickers are focusing down in the bot lane. I suppose they are worried about the 6 cap, and so they convert that bottom keep. Godfred working on the mid keep as well. Of course, this gives BoomerGaming the opportunity to bring boss off the map. Those 4 core shots could have been the end of the game if crit kickers had focused on the boss instead. Godfred face checks the bush. Oh my gosh, Infinity Meme caught in a huge root. Icon pulls, still has 1 charge available. J-Shifts will lose Olaf at first. Godfred here in the backline. A double stun onto 2. IE falling low. Do they have the heroic? They used it on bot keep. They don't have it here. Evagatron falls, and that is the channel secured by BoomerGaming. GG and well played. So in the end, the TLV runaround ended up being too much to handle. Crit Kickers had a very close fight there through a very challenging draft, but in the end, it does go over to the friends in blue on BoomerGaming. Let's take a look at our post-game stats. We can see J-Shift's racking up almost 36,000 experience on the battleground. That's a lot. That's a lot of minions to kill. Godfred unable to get some of those carrion swarms off, which I think probably would have shifted the course of the battle a little bit. I also wonder what might have happened if IE still had their heroic up for that final team fight. All right. So a hard fought 2-0. Crit Kickers definitely showing signs of life there, but BoomerGaming able to keep their undefeated streak alive. Looks like I will be getting a interview here. So let's kick over to that scene so everybody can hear. GG, well played. How are you feeling? Oh, there we go. GG, well played.
Thank you. It's fun games.
Yeah, seriously. Talk about a nail biter there on Towers of Doom. I mean, drafting the TLV, definitely spicy. How hard is it to convince J-Shifts not to play Medivh?
Well, if there's a game that he can pick Vikings on, that's like the limiter, I would say. That's the encouragement that we need. Otherwise, it is quite hard.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, hard to blame y'all for continuing to pick it. It looked really strong there in game one, especially when paired with your Diablo and E-Bagatron's Uther. Is that something that you guys are going to keep playing until people ban, or like, is that just something that looked good on the battleground? What are your thoughts on kind of the way that that influences the meta?
I mean, it definitely looked good into their team specifically, but there's also a if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of vibe. And we were just insanely tanky game one. I believe Ebag didn't even use D Shield after he acquired it. So we just kind of, we're chilling. We're just so tanky.
Yeah, I think that's true. I do not remember seeing D Shield go off. I was actually a little surprised that it wasn't going to be D-Storm with the Medivh, because portal in on the team if it clumps up, and like that's a... Oof. Anyway, it looked great. Definitely a lot of comfort there. Not surprising to see it. A couple narrow misses. There were like one or two times that Dope Monster sent the deepest arrow, and the overpower was just like a little missed. Every time I was like, "Oh no, I've been that Diablo."
No, definitely the arrows were so they were coming for him. They were coming for him. Just narrowly got missed. But then I feel like our play on when we were defending the Immortals was honestly really good.
Oh,
we were able to just farm a ton of Immortal stuns on them.
Yeah, it was absolutely remarkable getting all of those shadow charges into Immortal stun, into E-Bagatron stun, and like having Dope Monster racing the Immortal most of the time, and you four still getting kills with no damage. Well, I mean, I guess J-Shifts was definitely pulling their weight, but
yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I got
awesome. And then game two,
sure.
Towers of Doom, as you mentioned, J-Shifts loves TLV. Who wouldn't on that battleground? It's definitely one of their strongest. But Crit Kickers were doing a great job there. Did you think, looking at the drafts as you got into game two, that it was going to be that tight?
I definitely didn't think that was going to be that tight. They played it very, very well. It was, as you said, quite a nail biter. Just looking at draft though, we felt like we were gonna edge them out just a little bit, just because the Vikings on Towers of Doom, and then our four man is just extremely solid, you know.
Hmm.
But they had a surprisingly like more expected amount of burst than I initially expected. Like people got deleted fast.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I guess we could chalk that up to pin down. I'm not sure how many stacks of it Infinity Meme got, but I definitely don't think
Yeah,
of Zul'jin Maiev as burst damage either. So I was
same with us.
surprised. Yeah, I was surprised along with you. In the end, though, having TLV was everything. I mean, so you've got 3 core HP. You're doing boss. Did you guys expect crit kickers to go for that bottom fort or contest you on boss?
We kind of expected that they were just gonna take some of the map back, although it kind of proved fatal for them since we were able to position like set up in the right altar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we expect it is a kind of hard instinct to overrun. You see your bot camp or you see your bot fort that doesn't get taken automatically, so you want to take it if nobody's defending it. So I understand it, but we played that to our advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. And setting up in the bush as you did was exactly what you needed. Infinity Meme got caught by iFeed's Dark Lady's Call. We had stuns going out everywhere, all the while TLV gets to channel. And that's how you clean up a Towers of Doom game. So well played on that one.
TLV.
All right, I'm not
TLV
going to keep
moment.
talking your ear off. I'll let you get back to celebrate with the team. Before I let you go, are there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, sure. Shouts to my team. I feel like we played good. It was a fun game. Shouts to the enemy team. It was actually really, really tight game too. That was a lot of fun. Shouts to you for casting, and shouts for chat for watching. That's about it.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thank you very much, Bellers. You have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
So there you have it, friends. A nail-biter of a game 2, but in the end, BoomerGaming keeping their undefeated streak with a 2-0 here in the Nexus Division. That's going to do it from me this evening. Before I sign off, I have some shout-outs of my own to give. First and foremost to the Nexus Gaming Series. It's a fantastic league run entirely by volunteers. If you want to get involved and you are not yet, then you can check out their website at !NGS in chat. It's a great organization. I'd highly recommend it. A huge shout out to all of those who turned in. It's great to have you here watching these teams and cheering them on. And last but not least, to all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions, and I strongly encourage that you check out their work. I've got links to it below the video, as well as coming up here in a credit roll in a bit. So stick around. We might have another NGS cast that we can raid everyone over to, but if not, then peace and love, everyone. Good luck and have fun out there.